I loved to annihilate Jordan Sparks. You could just breathe funny.
And she would break.
And she could just not. Please welcome to the mic, Casey Balsham. It's Broadway, bitch.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to It's Broadway, Bitch. Thank you for being here. Currently, the number 23 podcast on the performing arts charts.
Creeping your way up.
I'm creeping my way up. Thank you.
Oh, come on,
Thank
sound
you so
effects.
much. I know. Yeah, we got a couple.
love it.
We got a couple buttons, Drew. You here next to me, my guest for today. I am so excited. I'm a fan. I have Drew Gehling from Waitress, from Little Shop. You've literally, I can't even. You've done everything. You've done. Yeah, proper applause.
I'll applaud for myself.
Roman Holiday, Dave. You were in Titanic at City Center. Almost Famous.
Yeah.
Which I have to tell you, I can't believe you don't recognize me from the girl that came up to you at brunch one time.
No, you were the one. You were the one that saw it. You know?
No, it was before. It was you and Saleha were at brunch. And I just I was there and I was like, my husband was like, you're going to say something, aren't you? I'm like, I'm going to say something. And I went up to you. I was like, I've seen Waitress 8 times. And you were like, thank you so much. You were actually very kind.
Thank you.
And you were getting ready for Almost Famous. And you said you were just talking about the production. And I think I even was like, is there drama? And you're like, no. And I was like, I feel like there's drama.
Well, you know what? Come on. It's like a new show. There's always drama, isn't there?
Yeah.
I was just running into some buddies of mine that are opening shows because this is like the time of year. I don't know when this will air, but this is like the time of year.
Because it's the rundown for Tony nominations.
Yeah, everyone runs out the clock and
Yes.
by
Yes.
I feel like the middle or end of April is kind of when all the shows have to open by in order to be eligible this season.
Yeah.
And so they try not to do it this way, but they always end up stacking like crazy.
It's so much is
So
coming
you
out.
go into any bar in Midtown Manhattan after 10:30 on a weeknight during this month and next month, and it's just a bunch of actors going, what are we going to do?
Okay,
This is really hard. And
Noted.
it doesn't matter. Good show, bad show, it like ages you 5 years.
I bet. And this show too, I did see Almost Famous, and I know it had a shorter run than I think people would have wanted, but you guys looked like you were having a ball on stage.
Honestly.
It actually looked like, I was like, these people are having so much fun.
Yeah. And we loved each other. It was like,
Yeah.
it was such a hang. And that's not always the case either.
Yeah.
So in that case, it was a really, really great hang with a group of people that had gotten to spend a lot of time together before the pandemic and then were able to come back and spend it together after, which...
Because it started pre-pandemic.
Yeah, I mean,
so you had a little taste of it first.
We'd worked on it for a while and had gone to San Diego and done the show in San Diego before together, which was cool.
The whole cast, same.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was like a couple of differences, but
but
as a whole, it was like a core group.
Yeah, it was a bummer because it's like I could just feel like the end because you guys just do this whole crazy the curtain call was just a big song.
God, I wish we'd filmed it because now I'm just kind of trying to recall it from memory.
It was just I was like, oh, this full concert and everybody, you could just tell that there was love there. So that's a bummer. But I know that you had some practice with band stuff because you were in a ska band.
Oh my God.
Why?
Well,
First off.
like all of us in the 90s, ska was our identity.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And if you'd flash forward and go like, oh my God, who even were we? I don't know. A bunch of kids that went to Sedgefield Presbyterian Church in Greensboro,
So
North
it's like
Carolina.
you didn't even grow up in Orange County.
Thought this would be a great idea.
Yeah.
Guys, we got to get a ska band together. What are we doing?
We
what are we
have
doing
to.
if we're not getting a ska band together?
I mean, that's a fair question to ask your buddies. What are we doing?
What was the name? And
Yeah.
what were
Oh,
the the names that you didn't go with?
No. I'm not even gonna. These don't even get answers because then we start Googling it and then we'll find something
find
I won't
videos.
find things. I mean,
Yeah.
So we'll say.
Sock
right.
full of quarters.
Sock full of quarters. So you have a handful of nickels.
Handful of nickels.
Well, okay, so that was
Knuckle
your
bleed.
practice. Knuckle bleed. I mean, it's just one of the many things. Like I said, you've been in everything. I think I've seen you in so much stuff. Obviously, like I said, I saw Waitress 8. Waitress was just like my show, and I think I saw you 7 of the 8 times. I saw Jason Mraz once, and
Come on, Jason.
He's no Drew though.
But
he's Jason
You know that man
Mraz.
grows avocados?
I believe it.
He taught me everything about the avocado farming business.
He seems like a happy man.
He is a really cool dude.
I saw him in concert once years ago, and I just remember being like, I feel good.
Yeah.
Like I just saw the concert. I was like, I feel great.
Yeah.
But before Waitress, you, I just want to see if this helped you. You played the role of bartender in the TV show Smash. Did that?
I did, in fact, play the role of bartender.
Did that help you prepare for Waitress?
I'm going to be totally honest. I really thought that was going to go on. I was like, all right. Because get this. I watched that show. I was really into
I loved Smash.
Come on, it was great. It was a great show.
I loved it.
And I was really into it. And so that whole season, they spent a lot of time in this bar, which I kind of feel like season 2.
The Jeremy Jordan season.
Yeah, so I feel like it was like, remember, because Jeremy worked at that bar, was playing piano in the bar, and it was kind of supposed to be Joe Allen.
That's right.
Might have even been called Joe Allen.
It might
I can't
have been.
remember.
Yeah.
But it was based on that, and so we kind of thought, oh, okay, great. If this comes back for season 3, I'm the bartender at Joe Allen.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in like 2 episodes. You know, like I'll get to come back. I'm going to get lines.
I'm getting plural.
And Megan and I had gone to college together at Carnegie Mellon.
You were Carnegie Mellon,
yeah.
yes.
And that season, it was like me and her and Leslie Odom were all on
Carnegie Mellon,
all Carnegie Mellon kids that were on the show. And I remember just being like, okay, how do I jockey this into something?
Because everybody
bigger?
Was on that show.
Yeah.
But I know, it made me really sad.
real...
I remember watching it being like, I was in California at the time, being somebody who like did musical theater and loved it. And I was like, the show has to last forever. And then they were like, we're not giving it another season. And I was like, well, okay. And then now it's got this cult following.
Yeah.
And now they're doing the musical, but they've changed the story.
I have no idea. I am going in there
big time.
I'm going in there blind.
All right, I won't even tell you then.
Okay.
Because I know that
character names seem to be the same,
except for like the songwriters aren't like the.
Oh, so it's not like the
Juliet
Deborah Messing and Christian Borle thing. That's dead.
And I don't even know who they are.
Well, now it's Johnny Bellman and Krista Rodriguez, right?
Yes.
Who was also on the show.
She was on the show. She's the through line. She is. They're making some choices. Yeah, I really want to see it, but I was such a fan of the show that like I'm a little nervous. Like I don't know if that's something that you ever get. Like when you like something so much.
I don't know. Also, that like this team kicks. You can't go wrong with Bob Martin and Rick Ellis and Mark and Scott and Stroh. I mean, it's a great. I'm also totally biased this season because I can't. I feel bad. I feel bad because I want to give all the shows love, but I have to plug my wife's show.
I know. Okay, I want to talk about that because your wife is the composer and lyricist for Death Becomes Her, which is rad.
It is really rad.
It is so cool. We had Josh Lehman on a couple weeks ago, who is silly.
The myth, the legend.
The legend. He's right where you're sitting.
He's so...
If you don't want to ever watch those pants again, I
never
totally
will.
understand.
I love Josh so much.
But that show, especially with Jen and with Megan, I loved it. And I wondered, like, when she's writing, like, are you guys collaborate? Like, are you like, it could be like da 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 da, and she's like, what about da 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 da? Like, are you guys? I mean, you can use that. You can tell her that.
It's totally
a musical genius. So you
know, I don't know. That might make its way into something very famous.
Listen, I'll record
soon.
that. Yes. But like, is she coming to you, or is she kind of like gets in her zone and does it, or do you give her feedback? She locks in.
She locks in.
Yeah.
And like, the funny thing is, I mean, I guess she wrote that whole show. She got that job. She and Noel got that job like the day the world shut down. Like the day the world shut down.
Okay, so this has been a project for a minute.
Yeah, and her getting it was so huge because it kind of came, you know, right as we were going to have all this time to be, you know, off the grid effectively.
Yeah.
And they kind of wrote it together but separately, and then. So I would just kind of hear her humming to herself or coming up with odd rhymes and then we just kind of witnessed the whole thing come together over the course of now 5 years.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that was like a little less pressure being able to have a huge break, being like there's actually not a deadline right now, or was there still, even though there was a pandemic?
And you also weren't there were deadlines. I mean, they were really great about kind of figuring out when they wanted to do it and what their timeline was and when they were going to be able to do readings and workshops and stuff like that. But you're right, there was nothing happening.
Yeah, you could kind of just...
They were doing readings down the hall from us rehearsing Almost Famous at Signature.
Really?
Yeah, and so it was like, it was, as Broadway was starting to kind of come back, they were ramping up, which was great because they kind of got to, and she says this all the time, make the show that they wanted to see.
Yeah.
Which is cool. You don't always get to do that.
And it's like the show like stays enough to the movie, which is obviously classic. Yeah. But it has some fun nods. I find myself like at least once a day being like, if you want perfection. Like the opening of that and just how catchy and like how that like That's an earworm.
I know.
That's a freaking hook. And I feel like I don't see that with a ton of musicals anymore. Like I will enjoy a musical and leave being like, I don't remember any of the songs.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, because a lot of the times a musical is more about the overall experience rather than, oh, remember this banger, remember this banger, remember this banger.
Yeah. But that opening with that and like...
Sorry, I used the word banger. That's
a couple times. We should make it a drinking game next time.
Hit the Topo Chico every time Drew says a weird word.
Yeah. No, we're fans of the word banger.
The show's a banger so far.
The show's a banger.
This episode's a banger.
There we go. Keep it rolling.
It's in a show that we're writing. It's the follow-up to Smash. It's called Banger.
Yeah. We're writing Banger together. Wait, so
it's about singing sausages.
It is about
ironically
and mash.
I like it, Mike. Let's write it right after this.
I did it. I just wrote it.
And it's not stalking. It's technically research since you were coming on. I was on her Instagram. Did you guys zip line into your wedding? Because Mike's about to get married at a summer camp, and I'm about to show him this video.
Highly recommend.
Okay.
The way we started the day of the wedding.
Like a horn.
Oh yeah, we had our friend Devin play reveille on her trumpet.
Yes.
And we fully ziplined from the top of a fire tower into a lake. Thank God it was warm.
Thank God.
Thank God it was warm.
We
got married in September, and we were like doubled down. And it was like, all right, here's the deal.
We're doing it.
We're going for it.
And you did it at like a summer camp vibe, like you just trapped your friends together for 2 days.
Our whole wedding was a real summer camp vibe. So it's like everybody arrived, and we immediately did a talent show.
Yes.
Which was like the stupidest talent show you could imagine. Like people were doing ribbon dances. Someone did a magic show.
Yes.
I'm doing a magic show.
Yeah, it's honestly,
I'm doing a summer camp.
It's gonna bop.
Yeah.
People lean in, and like once they understand that, like, no, we're here to make total fools of ourselves.
Yes.
Everybody just kind of leaned in.
Yeah.
And so then when we showed up the next morning to zip line into the lake at like 7 a.m., everybody was like, yes, and
I feel like that's such a good way to start off a wedding weekend, being like, this is who we are. So just so you know where the bar is.
Yeah.
We're ziplining into our wedding.
Sure. There was a blob in the lake. Like people were catapulting each other out. Yeah. That's how they spent the day. And then we got married that night. So people were just wildly sunburned.
Yes. Just red.
Just red, beet red, kind of
that's fun.
Poured into whatever suit they brought, It was great.
I love that. And I think that's a testament to like, and I brought this up with other people who are involved with, my husband's a comic. You're married to another creative. Mm-hmm. I feel like
Do you feel the pressure to be funny at home?
No.
I always kind of wonder this with people who are married to comics because I know, look, my wife is one of the funniest people that I've ever met in my entire life.
Right.
Honestly, hands down, I'm not even joking about it. But then, people just assume like, oh, are they just funny all the time? And you're like, no.
We cry. No. We cry. We're both on heavy doses of antidepressants. We both have therapy. No, we make each other laugh. Like we're the stupidest version of each other, but we also, we are people living in New York City with children. So it's like a lot of times we're like, how are we going to make money? And then that's not funny at all.
I know.
So, but we definitely,
but it kind of is.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it can be when we're both like, let's not worry about it. And he's like, hey, let's watch Love is Blind. I'm like, you got it.
Exactly.
But we, like he helps me write the scenes and like we do get to like play with each other a lot that way. But it is very funny because I always joke that we're such different comics in the way that like I'll run a joke by him. Be like, is this funny? He's like, it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, but I know you're going to make it work. And like he'll run a joke by me and I'm like, I don't get it because I don't read the news. Like so because he's like the smart one and I'm like the stupid one, like the more goofy one. And so it works somehow though. But I do think being with the creative, even though people are like, you shouldn't shit where you eat, I'm like, why? Like they get it.
Yeah.
Like they understand your schedule.
Your brains turn each other's brains on.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay,
I've got to stimulate that part. You don't have to explain, like when you're going to rehearsal and something happens in rehearsal, you don't have to explain it in a way, like in layman's terms, I guess you could say, which I always find is nice. And I want to actually talk about something that I found out as I was doing some stuff. You actually had a pretty freaking serious thing happen to your voice.
Yeah.
That is wild.
It's funny. Like I feel like I get to talk about this a lot. I'm glad I get to talk about it.
Okay.
Because it's not, we got to normalize this.
Yeah. You basically just woke up and you had no voice, right?
Yeah.
Or no octaves.
Sure. Like anybody that uses their voice professionally at some point is going to deal with some sort of vocal problem. And there's always been this stigma, especially in our industry, where it's like, don't let on any
you're
kind
struggling.
that you are having a hard time at any given time.
You can't, because you get scared that you're not going to get booked, or people are going to be like, he's difficult to work with. You're like, I'm sick. I have no voice. Like, I'm sorry. I'm trying.
And it's like when you zoom out and you go, oh, there were these very small periods of time where you're having problems.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, that means very little. Right? Mm-hmm. As opposed to thinking, oh my gosh, I was plagued with this thing that happened and what a huge part of my life and career. It's more like, oh, wow, yeah, I use my voice
so much
all the time.
I need it.
So of course there's going to be things that happen occasionally. And I'm singing all different kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so the difference of singing something from Waitress to singing something like Jersey Boys to singing something like, oh, we're doing a workshop for 2 weeks where it's like all punk rock. You're using totally different kinds of like parts of your voice.
Yeah.
And of course it's going to stretch it. And the older you get, the less forgiving your instrument is.
Your whole body gets.
Your whole body gets.
Your whole body starts to break down, kids. Just so you know. Woof is correct.
I'm like, so my show right now, I'm like surrounded by...
Because you're an Anne Juliet.
I'm an Anne Juliet on Broadway right now.
Yes.
I play William Shakespeare and Anne Juliet on Broadway. And I am surrounded by peak specimens.
Kids.
And they are...
At the top.
They are able to do anything.
Yeah.
They're doing vocal, physical, mental backflips.
Flips. They're doing it all.
They can do it again and again and again and again. And I'm like, I have this amount of gas in the tank.
Can I use my understudy for 3 of the performances this week, please?
Yeah, I can do only 4, right? Like, that's fine.
So that's a good, so it taught you a lot, and I know that you're using that to like help other people. I want to know, how long was it before you actually got your range back?
Well, so this
you have a pretty wild range.
Yeah. Like this kind of went down in like 2010. Yeah, and like at the time it seemed endless.
Right.
At the time it seemed like, well, that's it. Figure some other stuff out, bud. You're toast.
Well, because did you
start applying at Starbucks? Yeah, I could make good coffee.
They have good insurance there.
I'd crush.
But didn't you actually study? Did you go to med school?
No, I didn't go to med school, but I did
play a doctor.
I did play a doctor in a musical. Twist. No, it was like I think the impetus behind that was that I suddenly found, oh crap, what happens if you lose the thing that really
your thing.
Yeah, your thing.
Your thing.
What happens? So I started working on this this kind of survey where I was kind of surveying other Broadway performers, and that was when we learned, like, oh God, this is so prevalent. This happens all the time.
Yeah.
And
even comedians, like if I do 3 shows in a night, by the third one, I'm like,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, because I'm screaming. Some shows I'm getting all jacked up, and by the end of the night I'm like, damn, I'm
you're
exhausted.
Toast. And what if you if you knew you had to get up and do a completely different thing the next night? Like, who knows? Like,
and these are 15 minutes. These aren't like, you guys are on stage for 2 hours just belting, or sometimes 3 these days. Oh, God. Sometimes 90 minutes.
Sometimes 90 minutes. Sometimes no intermission, which are the best kind. If anyone's listening,
that is true.
And you're writing something new.
90 minutes, no intermission.
We like to be gone by 9:30 if the show starts at 8.
70-minute show, like Oh Mary. Let's get it. Yeah. Let's do it.
5 o'clock show. Oh Mary. Call it for everybody.
They have a 5 o'clock show.
They've got an early matinee, which I really do.
You can now do a 3-show Saturday if you really hustle.
Yes. The Reddits love the 3-show Saturdays.
Like we're back to like the old vaudeville days where they just would be like bam, 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 bam.
Yeah. Well, they used to be like kind of on somewhat at the similar schedule. And now people are like, we're doing a matinee on Thursday and we have shows every Monday. And you're like, what the hell? This is not the schedule I signed up for.
I know.
But it's great that you found out what you needed. You are helping other people. And I want to talk a little bit about, your instrument and you singing in shows. Like, you are Shakespeare.
I am.
Did you like that transition?
That was really good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I hope this...
You really got us back on track. I was like, I don't know how we're going to get anywhere.
I'm waiting to see how quickly you turn this into the real reason that he's here, is to see how we can get in touch with Joey Fatone.
Oh,
I really think that's the only reason.
I actually had a question. I was going to be like, were you pissed that it wasn't Chris Kirkpatrick? Like, come on, let's be honest.
I'm a huge Chris Kirkpatrick stan.
Dude, he was kind of fun.
I feel really
the best.
Who's Chris Kirkpatrick?
Oh, he was the... Okay, if there's all
really
the...
guilty.
He was the high range.
He was he was the old, the old one.
Oh.
He had braids at one point.
Yeah.
And braces at the same time.
Yeah, he had braids and braces, and he wore cargo pants. Yeah, it was a big... There was a lot of...
he was carrying freight.
There's a lot of things happening. Yeah, you are Shakespeare. But I wanted to see, and this is a question, because like Dr. Pomatter, and I definitely want to... We're going to get into some Waitress stuff, because like I said, that is my show. But originating stuff, because you've originated a lot of shit. Like you did Dave, you did Roman Holiday. There's been like a lot of things that you have kind of been skeleton for, I guess, if that's the right word. Or the blueprint, like the first one.
Like skeleton.
Immediately,
I identify.
Did you begin?
I identify as skeleton.
He died for the show? What the hell are you talking about?
He's dead. This is an amazing interview, if you know, because
you were the loose skin for the show that everyone else had to throw on bones.
The blueprint.
That feels right. That feels right.
That feels right. But is it easier to go into a show that exists than to create? Like, is it less work for you?
It's harder for me. It's harder for me. Yeah.
Oy.
Yeah, because I don't know, so much of the work that I've gotten to do, and I've been so lucky to do this, is to get to
stay working,
make things.
Yes.
Is to get to make new things.
Yeah.
Because I'm a tall, gangly bag of bones. Like skeleton. You're not gonna. I'm hard to put into a line. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because and now I'm seeing a lot more like tall people in theater.
We're diversifying.
But
we got all kinds of people going.
When I remember first kind of getting to the city and going to my first dance audition for Hairspray. This was back in like the mid-aughts, kids.
Right.
And like and realizing, I could play Link, but like I couldn't cover Link because if you put me in the line, I would be enormous.
That's wild.
I'd be enormous. I know it's weird, but like, anyway, I've been really lucky to get to develop new stuff, and a lot of my education was about new plays, new musicals. That's what Carnegie Mellon does really well.
Yeah.
And it makes actors really kind of good at talking to creators and writers and directors and kind of interfacing on that more creative level and, incubator level, which was cool.
Yeah.
So, to that end, I'm much more comfortable doing that than kind of, okay, this is the existing structure.
Right.
Paint inside these lines.
Interesting.
Because I feel like there's not a lot of wiggle room in those kind of situations, especially ones that have been running for a long time.
Yeah.
Now, there's exceptions to that rule. I mean, I feel like Little Shop is a dealer's choice because the show itself is so actor-proof that you're like, oh yeah, as long as you're saying these lines.
Well, and you were the dentist, so there's there's a lot of playroom in that. That's another thing I would ask, because I saw you as Dr. Pomatter many times. I saw you in Little Shop, and I've seen you break people a lot.
It's
a decent amount. And I wonder if this is something you strive for, because I feel like I saw Waitress with you and Jesse at the beginning, and then I saw it come back with you and Sarah, and I feel like you got so, like you were, it was like you were like so much looser, it felt like you were fully like just leaning into all the humor. And I wonder if like you're trying to break people, because I was like, he's trying to get her.
Yeah,
like
I should be fired.
With the script.
I did not.
You're like throwing the script.
They kept bringing me back into that show,
so
and
fun.
I know they regretted it. I know they were like, oh God, here we go. This guy, he's just adding minutes to the show.
But every time I saw it, I was excited to see you, because I was like, I wonder how much looser it's going to be from 2 months ago when I saw it.
Oh, because he's,
Yeah. And
I'm a chaos agent a little bit.
And I watched you break Betsy. I watched you break Matt Doyle.
Oh, Matty D.
So I think I was at a Mother's Day matinee, and like there were some kids, and somebody said something, and you fully just addressed, like you were like, I know, right? Or something. And you guys both lost your shit, and the audience lost your shit. And I was like, he's got to be like, he knows he's funny.
Well, it's no,
but you are.
The great thing about
funny.
Thank you, friend. The great thing about a show like that is that you're in such good hands storytelling wise.
Totally.
That the play like allows for that. You know what I mean? Like you almost, because that that the structure works so well, you pray for those little like, let something interesting happen today.
Oh yeah.
Please let it like.
And it's such an intimate venue, West Side Theater. Like
everybody's in the room.
Yes. And I think as a dentist, you have so much freedom, because he's so full of himself that you, like, even in his world, he probably would think people on the street were talking to him. You know,
sure.
If that was something, but I was like, he's got to be trying to break these women.
And you get to play so many other characters as well. So like the plus side is that you get to come on and be. As the dentist, at least you get to be so many of these other different people.
Yeah.
As Dr. Pomatter, you're very much like...
You're just a doctor.
That was a cool thing, because your whole job is to point Jenna in the right direction.
Yeah.
That's your whole job.
Yeah.
Is like the purpose in the story is to really give her another option and to kind of help that actor and character kind of move forward. It's great.
But I imagine that path changes every time you get a new Jenna.
Yes,
which
it sure does.
Has got to be fun or difficult.
Oh no, it was great.
Because
I felt so honored.
They all played it very different. I think I saw Jesse, I saw Stephanie, I saw Betsy. Were you in with Nicolette?
I did do it with Nicolette.
You were with Nicolette. I saw Sarah twice, and I saw Catherine.
Yeah.
And you were in with Catherine as well.
That's everybody that I did it with. I think you saw me do it with everybody.
Literally, I was just like, I'm just going back to the Drew show. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Really, the only ones that I didn't really get to do it with were
Shoshana Bean.
with Showbean and
Sierra Renee, because she did it with Joshua, right? That was right before the pandemic.
Yeah. And Allie Luff. I didn't get to do it with Allie Luff.
Oh,
and so
that's
now
right.
I'm working with Allison on and Juliet, which is great.
Oh, that's great.
I know.
I saw all of your Juliet or all of your Jennas. So since they play it all so differently, even within the same words and the same songs, like how did you navigate through that, like kind of having to change your character in the face of being with so many different co-stars?
It's great because that show is so well written.
I love it.
The show's so well written that Jesse Nelson wrote such an incredible book. And Sarah wrote, obviously, an iconic score that...
I can't wait for her new one.
It's amazing we're still talking about this. You know what I mean? Because it is so good, and it just is... It is timeless, really. But
she's very talented.
She's pretty good. She's pretty good at what she do.
She's got a pretty good career.
Yep. And but it meant that because the book is so good, it meant that there was room for multiple interpretations and takes on that character.
Yeah.
And same for the Doctor as well. Like the way to best kind of complement what the Jennas were bringing was to just be available.
That's a good
was to just
option,
be available. And it was a great exercise as an actor in a long-running show to get to change that up, because otherwise you get locked into something that is maybe effective or was effective once. Yeah. But it can be really limiting because you think, okay, these are the lines and I have to paint inside these lines, which as we talked about, I hate.
You have a hard time
doing. I can't
doing.
paint inside those lines. It's like, you have to kind of be moving the line constantly or else it can't stay honest.
Yeah, because there is a difference between just watching as an audience, like Jesse's was a lot more kind of like serious and like hurt and frantic, and Betsy's was kind of like more lighter and like loose. Like she was a little.
They all had ways of covering their pain, right?
Yeah.
And so it was for each of those actors, that was their kind of way in,
and you had to uncover.
Yeah, and you get to just kind of
go.
All right, where is it?
Where is it now? It's just the internet, so like you can definitely say it. Did you have a favorite Jenna?
It's just the internet. It's just the internet.
It's just the internet.
It won't live forever. ChatGPT won't just search this text and immediately go, Drew Gehling
I'm tagging all of them, by the way.
No, I actually,
But do say it right into the barrel of that
right
lens
down to
if you
3
could.
on camera 3.
Oh
my God. No, the best was they were all so different, right?
Yeah.
They were all so different, and I remember I loved to annihilate Jordan Sparks.
Oh yeah, I didn't see Jordan. Okay.
That was like the one where it was like, oh my gosh, you are so easy to break.
Oh no, because she's not really Broadway.
You could just breathe funny,
and she would break.
She could just not. It was great. And
she
had like a really little baby at the time.
Yeah,
and so she was just like hanging on.
That's fun.
I was so lucky. I loved all of them so much.
So there was not one of them that you were like, you know what, go back to Earl.
No, because it was a complete right. Oh, because it was a completely different show every time.
Yeah,
and it always worked. Yeah. How do you don't ever get to say that, you know? It's
or
not
at
like
least
it's not like Hasselhoff and Jekyll and Hyde where you're like, well, except for
was
Hasselhoff
he in Jekyll and Hyde?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
David Hasselhoff closed Jekyll and Hyde, I think.
He's the reason we don't do it anymore.
I don't know. I'm a child of the Broadway '90s, really. So I loved that Frank Wildhorn stuff when I was growing up. It's my favorite.
Well, I know you said too, like your dream kind of because I watched your that little snippet of the 20 questions in like 2 minutes, which was really fun.
Oh wow!
I think it was from like 5 years ago or something like that. But you said that your like one of your dream roles? Like, because do you like kind of like the older stuff? Because you've done a lot of contemporary.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of contemporary. But you is Music Man.
Yeah.
So when it came, were you like so close, but so not Hugh Jackman?
Obviously.
You're like, it's
and also,
here, but I
also
can't
like,
do it.
Hugh is Hugh. Like,
It's
you're like,
Hugh.
that's, of
Yeah.
course. That makes perfect sense.
Was there like any kind of hope that you're like, maybe he'll like, break a face or something? Like, was there, and like, could you even go in to like kind of be his like swing or not swing
his
understudy?
cover?
Yeah, his
oh
cover,
my gosh.
his cover.
I no way. No way.
No, you didn't even attempt.
No way.
No.
That was just like when something like that happens and you're seeing it play out, you're like, oh, yeah, Hugh. Of course. My version of that would be vastly different.
Yeah.
And probably chaos.
Chaos can be good.
Yeah, but that would be. It does remain one of those things that I'm like, oh, at some point I've got to do it.
Someday you'll do it.
Yeah.
I saw you in. So I'm always fascinated by the city center shows, which I love to go see them because they're I find it like that seems like chaos. Speaking of chaos, because you have like 5 minutes to prepare or whatever.
Sure.
Do you even get to know the cast, and do you have to audition? Because I imagine that would take up some of the time when it's kind of a limited time.
Yeah, luckily my path to doing so I did Titanic at Encores this past year.
Yeah.
And if you said that, we can just edit that out, right? That I just reiterated the thing that you just said.
It's okay. We got to remind the people.
I got really lucky that the casting department just asked me to do it.
Yeah.
Because I had been cast in, they were going to revive the show on Broadway, like
Titanic.
Yeah, this would have been in 2015.
Okay,
maybe 2014. The Weislers were going to produce this production that had happened on the West End, and they were going to bring it over here. We were going to try it out in Toronto, and then bring it into New York. And this was the year that Gentleman's Guide won Best Musical.
Yeah.
And that was like how I marked it. For whatever reason, like 2 weeks before we were supposed to start rehearsal, it fell through. We had all left.
Happens so much.
It does happen. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's really heartbreaking. But we had all left jobs. I was like, my buddy Brian Sears and I were going to do it together. The cast was going to be sick. It was like Jeremy Jordan, Rob McClure, Jennifer Laura Thompson, myself, Ron Raines. Like it was going to be great.
So it was just going to be.
It was going to be great.
All the buddies.
Yeah, and it was like a really small cast that was going to do the whole show, and at the last second canceled. So we were all just like, well, I guess on we go.
Yeah.
And in a real twist, when I found out that they were doing it at Encores, I like sent an email. I was like, listen, I will be anyone.
Just get me in the show.
I will be anyone. All I want to do is sing that song, is sing the opening number. Yeah. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
And luckily they were like, yeah, we can make that happen on this, which
That's
never
great.
happens. It was my first Encore show. I'd never been in it before.
Yeah.
And it's shockingly like doing like a developmental reading or workshop.
Yeah, because did you even get to like work with any of the?
No,
or was just you? Because it was you and Bonnie, right? Bonnie was your.
It was Bonnie and I.
Yeah,
and luckily we've known each other for years, so it was like, well, that's great.
So it's just like you guys just do your scene, and then they kind of just plug and play the scenes into the.
Yeah, well, that whole show was like that. I mean, there was this period in the 90s.
A huge cast.
Massive.
I mean, that City Center cast was just like blink and everybody was in it.
And that's how they were making shows back then. It was like that came out like a year before Ragtime. So it was like back in the 90s, they were like, I got an idea. Let's do a show with 50 people. Everybody has 5 lines. Everybody's in one song.
One day.
Yeah. And this cast of Titanic was like all of us, and then Ramin, and then like Chip Zien and Judy Kuhn and AJ and Eddie Cooper and Chuck Cooper and Lily Cooper and
all the Coopers.
All the Coopers.
Yeah, Andrew Durand.
And Andrew Durand, and then like
and Bonnie and
myself, and then like Lily's carrying around a baby the whole time. Because her child had just been born.
Right, because she just had her second. Yeah.
It was great. It was great. It was really special. And you get to every now and then you get to do something really cool like that. And,
But it's just 10 days though.
Oh yeah, and their whole thing there is like we do carry books in hand, but they always tell you, look at the book. Yeah. Look at the book. You will always think you know this better than you do.
Just look at it.
Just look at the book.
Yeah, because we both just saw You're in Town, and I think you saw the first one.
I saw opening
night. You said
night.
they were more on, and I saw like a couple days later, and they were a little less on the books, but they have them. And
there was definitely a moment of like, they don't need these books, but someone's telling them to hold the books. Because nobody was looking at them for like full scenes.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, they're just clearly being told, keep the book.
Yeah.
But they were all
because the minute you don't have that book,
you will forget.
You will go up.
Security blanket. Yeah.
Yes. So would you do a City Center show again if they asked you? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's a really fun place to play because everyone's holding the book.
Yeah.
You feel like, oh wait, we're in the middle of this process. Anything could happen, but you're also watching heavy hitters crush it.
Yeah.
And it happens every time. And I really like it when City Center does weird shows, like things that aren't meant to
be that big.
I
was really excited for the Wild Party to come, and then they took it. We actually have Julia Murney coming in after this. Yeah.
Today?
Yeah, right after you. She's coming in at 3.
Come on.
But I had like kind of heard snippets about how like it's kind of this weird, but I was very excited to see it was coming, and they took it away, and I'm very interested as to why.
You do know that this was not the Wild Party that Julia Murney did, right?
It's was it the Toni Collette one?
This is the LaCusa one.
Interesting.
Yeah. If you need to change some of your questions.
No, I just actually was asking her about hers, but I did see that they came out at the same time originally.
Yeah.
And they both got kind of bad reviews.
It was a real
Gatsby
Gatsby situation.
Right.
It was a real Gatsby situation. They both came out at the same time, and because George C. Wolfe's the LaCusa one had played at the Public, they were able to they was going to play at the Public. They just were. Take it straight to Broadway.
So that's a totally different show than the
complete.
Interesting, because I just
have Julia talk about it.
Okay. I'm excited to ask her about it.
This is lore. Like people want to hear that story.
Yeah, because I know that because Andrew Lipa's kind of got also like some lore and all this stuff, and I'm okay. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to get into a couple just kind of fun questions, and then what? Are we at time so we can do that? We'll do hot scene
plenty.
after this.
I'm shocked you didn't ask him if he wants to. Since you want to do a City Center show, do you want to do Bangers and Mash with us?
We're planning on
Bangers and Smash.
Yeah, Bangers and Smash.
Yeah, we're planning on putting it up at City Center with everybody.
42-piece orchestra.
You have the perfect
Everybody's
body
in it.
for
Patty
Sausage
Lapone.
One.
Skeletons. We love it.
Judy Garland's in it.
We're bringing her back?
On strings. She's coming to do Bangers and Mash.
It's
she loves it.
It's just a light on a post. They just keep it out the whole show.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, I want to know, since, like I said, your wife is like this badass lyricist composer. If you were to write a show, what would do you have a topic that you would like love to see a musical on?
A musical?
Or a person? Is there somebody whose life you're like, this is a fascinating life. We should sing about it.
I'm really fascinated by James Taylor. I think
I love James Taylor.
Me too. I think that's
cry.
I know.
Like you just listen to the song, you're like, why is there so much emotion in this?
I know. I think he's really, really. That's really special.
And obviously, there's some pain there. There was a death. We know the song.
Yeah.
Okay, James Taylor. I like that. And we spoke a little bit earlier about this. Your daughter. You have a child.
Yep.
Now, so she's older. So does she have she has a grasp on what it is that you do, right? Like does she have interest in the business, or is she kind of just like, my dad does this, it's cool, but like I want to do other things?
I think she definitely wants to do other things.
Okay, cool.
She seems she's very, very artistic and very, very imaginative, which is great.
Yeah.
And but she had just grown up with both her mom and I are in the business because her mom and her husband live in Brooklyn and her mom's actually doing an encore show that starts this coming week.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. And we were just talking about it on my way over here. And it's like, so her experience of the arts in New York City is probably like your kids will be, where it's like, oh, both mom and dad just do this. This is their job.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then it can't be atypical. Right?
I was thinking that because I was going to ask you,
because there's no alternative for them.
If you ever feel like guilt working at night, but when you're like, this is my job, and it's who I am, and it's part of who I am, and where I come from. That I know. I'm like, how do I explain to my daughter? I'm like, well, people in Chelsea needed to hear dick jokes, so I went. It's just like I had to go.
Yeah.
But I always I
had to process what you said earlier, so I had to go talk about it for 10 minutes.
Yeah, you were doing some shit that really made mommy feel a certain way. But I don't know if I feel guilt at night, but I definitely when my husband's like, oh, she has a hard time going to sleep. I feel a certain way, but it's like I still think this is what we do. This is kind of like the job, and it is at night. And does she understand? When you're in a show, and so obviously you're working every night. Is she ever call in tonight, or is she just kind of see you later?
No, she's always
she's
always like, what time's your show?
I love it. She's got the lingo down.
What time's your show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you got to leave at. Okay. I can't tell if she's doing that to she's running out the clock a little bit. I'll, hey, can I have some more dessert? You have to leave in 5 minutes.
Yeah, she's waiting for you to leave because she knows where the chocolate is.
Yeah, no, but she, I don't know. The hard thing really is that weekends become.
They're not weekends.
They're not weekends. Like that's when we're working.
The busiest.
Which stinks.
Yeah.
But the alternative would be like if you're on a TV show, you're working weird hours doing that too. There's like it's a no-win scenario, isn't it? Because like you could have a total office job or work like a 9 to 5 and you miss out on a complete bevy of other things.
Yeah. That's what I think too. I'm like, I'm with her a lot during the day. Like, and this is, just what we do. So, okay, that's great. And again, like we talked about raising kids in New York, I always wonder if this is like, if I'm like doing the right thing, but I also just feel like New York teaches kids such an independence, and they get to grow up with this culture, with theater, with all this
Does it make
stuff.
them harder though? Do you think? Like, are they?
I think they have 5. They shouldn't know how to order coffee at a bodega, but like that's who we're raising.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is who we got going on.
Yeah, that's kid knows her sandwich order.
Like we have our friend Alexis who grew up with, who's just like, I was having coffee I was 7 ordering black coffee, and you're like, all right, so I'm going to try to avoid that as much as I can, but also
but I didn't bring my gun into the bodega.
Oh my God.
Sick.
I'm just still thinking like caffeine, like some 7-year-old being like
all
double
up.
espresso Gene.
Yeah, Gene. He just knows the guy's name.
Gene works at the bodega.
Gene,
he knows.
give me a chopped cheese.
Cheese.
All right, now if you had one playlist for the rest of your life, what 3 songs would be on it?
Ooh.
I know. Would a James Taylor song make it on there?
This is a really hard question.
Music is like we have a like playlist that we play for Goldie every night, and it's the songs that you can listen to like every day,
Yeah.
And that it's hard to pick.
It's going to have a lot of like Crosby, Stills and Nash on it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Chris Kirkpatrick's solo album, Nigel's 11. Who are we?
God.
No, just me.
Oh my God.
Just Joey Fatone humming.
This is really hard because like whenever I get asked to like narrow down musical stuff, my brain goes into complete and total overdrive.
Totally.
Because
a lot of options.
Well, it's also just such a big part of our lives. I all I do is I sing songs every day. And so then sometimes the things that end up on a playlist end up, okay, I'm going to just drop these in as we go.
Let's do it.
I'm going to just drop these in as we go. So ask me the next question and then I'll be like,
the songs?
Something will hit me.
Well, okay, well, let me see. Because the next thing we were going to do was Hot Scene Cold Read.
Because it's going to be Our House by Crosby, Stills and Nash.
Okay.
To start.
Oh, that's sweet.
Because that's a fantastic song.
Yes. How about this? What was your favorite pop song in Juliet?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
Oh God, the best song in and Juliet, the one that Dominic, our music supervisor, and Bill Sherman, who did like kind of the arrangements and stuff of all the Max Martin songs.
Yeah.
Like really did a great job of doing this mashup of Problem and Can't Feel My Face. That happens in the middle of Act 2, and it just kills.
Works.
It's spectacular.
Yeah.
And so it's between that one, and I really like Domino.
Domino is a bop.
It's a bop.
It is
also the
so
whole
fun.
show is full of them.
The whole
you're
show
just
is so
like
fun.
every single song starts and you're like, okay, all right, I love it.
It's just especially because like I'm in my 40s, and it's like that's the stuff that when I was at my like peak girliness, this music will never die. I mean, I really thought NSYNC would still be a band. Like I was like, they will never ever not be popular. You know,
they're great. They're
it's
great.
such fun stuff. So seeing that show for me, I'm just like, it is my like adolescence.
Yeah.
You know.
So hearing that is those are my favorite. But like the most fun to do is the boy band song, Everybody, the Backstreet Boys song, which is just hilarious to have Joey doing a ton of Backstreet Boys.
They've mended their riffs. I feel like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC now
really
are like
tight.
They're like pals now.
Yeah,
they're all just like we all did this. We're all buddies, which is fun because as a young girl we were asked to choose.
That's true.
I wasn't in sync.
Yeah.
And I would like talk shit about Backstreet Boys like I knew them.
Was it because you were a Justin fan?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was. And then I had to hate Britney Spears because it was like a whole identity crisis.
It took you down a whole road because you chose.
I
and
did.
Then you gotta live with that choice.
I chose, and I would love to. Mike, we need to go back to because I want to see you. I want to see Joey. I think it'd be so fun. We got to come back to Aunt Juliet.
It's so fun.
It's like one of those. I've already seen it twice. It's like one of those. I just want to pop in every couple of months.
Yeah, and you can.
You can.
And you
because it's just fun.
Because it's just fun.
And like Waitress, it was like I brought my mom, I brought my sister. I would just bring, it was like always people bringing, and like, and every single time a new song like made me feel a different emotion. And you still said like, even though you did the show so much, were there still moments of the show that like took you aback?
Yeah, every time.
Because like every so often it'd be You Matter to Me, or it'd be the one that was like what that killed me was Everything Changes. I mean, like as soon as I had a daughter too, I was just like, I just fucking lost my shit.
The weirdest thing was when we made the movie or the pro shot.
Yes,
whatever it is.
I bought it.
Yep. Thank you.
I bought it.
Thank you.
I stole it.
It's okay. Piracy is a part of our lives. It's understandable.
Nobody tag Mary in her closing night of Elphaba. Don't tag her.
Don't
tag her.
Tag her.
Don't do it. It was like I had forgotten about Soft Place to Land.
Oh,
I'd completely forgotten about it.
Oh my gosh! Just even the little dances.
Yeah, because we were always backstage, or I was like in Dakin's room, like hearing him tell stories about being on Star Trek. That was like the kind of social time, because otherwise I'd be up in my dressing room with Chris or Nick, or we'd all just be hanging, and so you wouldn't really hear that song, and then to kind of just I never really got to see the show because I was always in it.
Yeah.
So to kind of sit there and kind of go on that ride, that one really gets me.
Yeah. I know there's definitely like a couple parts, seeing it so many times, that I would try to remember if they were any different. I always wondered if Christopher Fitzgerald said a different car, but it was always a Toyota Yaris.
That was a written line.
Because he makes it feel like he's making it all up on the spot.
Oh my gosh.
And I always wondered if it was a Toyota Yaris. Okay, we're gonna do Hot Scene Cold Read. Do you have any other songs for your ultimate song playlist?
They'll pop in.
Okay, so Mikey, it's chilly.
It's getting cold in here. Casey.
It is getting cold in here. We got a button.
Hot Scene Cold Read.
There we go.
I love that. Okay.
So here is your scene based on, this is called Waiter, okay?
Yep.
I will be playing the first line and you will be playing the second. So I will start it and then we'll go. So this is a scene called Waiter. So, sir, this meal is cold.
Correct. It's gazpacho. So it's a cold soup.
Okay, well, this is also cold.
Your salad? I'm so sorry. Did you just say you wanted that not cold?
Well, yes, of course. It's my lunch. Who has a cold lunch? What is this, the USSR?
No, this is a Johnny Rockets. My apologies. Would you like your salad warmed up?
I would. What do you think? I'm just supposed to shovel raw vegetables in my mouth? I'm not a panda bear.
Okay, so you want your crunchy green lettuce, cucumbers, olives, tomato, and onion all heated.
Yes. You think I'm going to put ketchup on this ice cold bowl of grass?
Okay. I guess I can take this to the back and have it microwaved for you.
But what aren't you getting about this?
Kind of this whole thing.
Okay, I want room temperature onions, cold tomatoes, and scalding hot lettuce.
I'm sorry, we just can't do that. You can pick an already intentionally warm dish from the menu, and I can just ask them to burn it for you.
Fine, then I'll have a mustard burger.
What? What is a mustard? What's a mustard? What is a mustard? Have you been to a restaurant before?
Actually, no.
Okay. It's a first timer? Oh, why didn't you say so? In that case, chef, bring out a scalding hot salad and a mustard burger for the lady.
And scene. I don't know why mustard burger makes me
mustard burger's good.
Crack.
I like what was the other one I really dug was scalding hot lettuce.
Scalding
hot
burn
lettuce.
Burn that lettuce to hell.
Oh my God. This is gnarly.
Yes, this is the mind of two comedians.
I'm like, give me another one. Let's read another scene. You got another one?
This is the opening scene from Banger. Why are you
keeping them going?
Yes,
I know. Well, I know. Now I get it. Now I'm getting like I feel like I can.
Now you know the show.
I know the show.
All right, this is our ultimate last question. This says a lot about who you are. Oh yeah. This is the Meow Mommy.
Okay.
This is what. This may change how we think of you, how the world thinks of you. But what Jellicle cat would you say you're most attracted to?
It's the one that does the railway stuff. The railway shit. Skimbleshanks, the railway cat.
Oh, dang. That means
I don't know.
That means you're a snitch.
I'm a snitch? Get out of here.
That means you're a snitch,
Whoa.
Drew.
I don't know. That song's awesome.
Skimbleshanks are
And you don't expect it to be good. And then I was like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah, because you're watching Cats and you're like, this whole thing is kind of very confusing.
You know what? That was the first Broadway show we took my kid to see. Because her
Cats?
mom was in it.
Oh.
And she was like, we're doing a Monday matinee, which they were like, we're competent because it's a Monday matinee. No one's going to be here. It's for the kids. So I bring Annie to see it, and like she's game. She's having a great time.
The kids love the cats.
Kids love the cats.
Yes.
She's had some Skittles, so she's all hopped up on sugar like a
freaking
animal.
Dye.
And then top of Act 2 happens, and Quentin Earl Darrington has this huge aria that he's singing, and he's like, it's like really going for it. And there's one of these like beautiful like go, and then it's like it just like rings throughout the whole theater, and out of nowhere Annie in like a full, she was probably like your kid's age at this point, just goes,
full voice.
Daddy, I don't like the big cat's voice.
Like close enough that he could hear it.
Oh yeah, everybody could hear it. Everybody could hear it.
I don't care for the big cat at all.
And to this day, every time I see Quentin, I'm like, hey, buddy. And he's like, oh, yeah, how's Annie?
Yeah. How's your judge? Any more tips?
Any
more notes?
She's got more notes.
Well, that's amazing. Drew, you are your A+ guest.
Hey,
this is me doing an A+. Thank you so much. That was so fun.
We made it to air.
We did. We're gonna release it.
Oh my God.
We're gonna put this one out.
God help us all.
On the internet. And so if you want to let people, how can they follow you? How can they support you? Tell us.
If you do feel so inclined
Yes.
to explore me on the social medias,
Yes.
I'm terrible at it.
Okay.
Are you terrible at social media?
I can't be. It's part of the whole gig.
No, that's
but
fair.
I am. I actually have to have like Mike makes my clips. I
should just
still
have
have a
you
Hotmail.
I should have
really
Mike
bad.
do mine too. You got a Hotmail?
I got a Hotmail account, man.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to pivot. I did a Gmail just for this.
Oh wow.
Podcast.
You've joined Google.
but I fucking hate it, man. I really don't like it.
It's not awesome.
It's not awesome.
You know what's weird? The people you're watching at home, and so you won't know this. But I can see myself over here on these screens.
Yes.
And it's driving me insane.
What is?
So this is me. So I'm like trying to talk down the barrel of the lens, but there's me. I'm looking at me, looking at me.
Looking at me. I know. I'm kind of happy that I've got my back towards the TV.
Yeah, you're lucky.
I'd be like,
Turn it so you can't see it.
No, it's fair. It's fair.
It's fair. It's fair.
You want to follow me? You can
Yes.
follow me on Instagram. It's at Drew Gehling. It's very, very creative.
Yes. Not
Just my
even
name.
one actor Drew Gehling.
No, it's
The
just
real
me.
Drew Gehling.
I am verified apparently.
Amazing.
Does that? But that is me.
Okay. And go see Anne Juliet.
come see Anne Juliet on Broadway.
It's such a party. Like the end is a full party. Like it's just they're doing the roar dance. It looks weird sitting down, but it's amazing. It's fun. Mike, we got to go see it. And if we do,
Let me know when you come, and
I'll send you a
I will
message.
bring you back.
I would absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing the podcast.
Anytime. Thanks for having me over.
All right, kids. We'll see you next time. Mikey, sign off. Do we have a sign? There we go.